Hi, my caring Cancers, and welcome to the Zodiac Love Tarot. I am Jennifer Winters, and this is your Cancer 2020 Astrology Yearly Tarot Forecast. So, what we're going to be doing today is something slightly different than I've done in November and December because coming into the year 2020, in November and December, I gave readings that you may want to check out after this video that had a lot of karmic cleansing in it for you, Cancer, and that way you can really jumpstart off this 2020 with a bang so that you feel really good, and I hope the cards are going to reflect that. So with this tarot card reading that I do, it's a spread that goes around the 12 months and also the 12 houses, and we'll be talking about your planets and your transits as we go along, but we're going to get real live messages, okay, coming from the planets, because when you do the tarot reading, not only do you know like Saturn is going to be conjunct Pluto, but they're going to send you messages of what you should be doing or what you should be thinking about in January or what might happen, so you can get a heads up. Okay, so please, if you want to have good luck coming up in the year 2020, go ahead and leave a comment, give a like, and give a share, and please also make sure you subscribe to my channel so I can keep bringing you messages. Now we're going to go in depth a little bit because this is a full year reading, so please stick with me to the end so that the engagement can stay high, so that other people can get this video, Cancer, because I know you care about people. So if we don't give any love, we're not going to be able to show this video to more people because it just won't get ranked. So please go ahead and give me some engagement and let's get started. Okay, all right, so down to the cards. Okay, now this is the Celestial Tarot Wheel of Life spread again. And like I said previously, it goes month to month, and it also goes by houses. And so we'll be talking about each one when we pull the cards. And I also lit a candle so that you could feel peaceful this year. And I also lit this candle for romance, because hopefully those two things will come up for you in 2020, and you'll have a lot of peace and a lot of love in your life. Okay, so Cancer, let's just give the cards a shuffle. We'll just do two because I have already been shuffling the cards, putting energy into this, Cancer. And if you're new to my channel, this is an astrology deck. It has Greek mythology and constellations and also astrology messages and messages from the planets. So I will interpret those as we go. Also, you and I are sitting across from each other, so some of the cards will be in reverse for you, and I will let you know about that, okay? So we're just going to get started. This first house is your personality, second house is your substance, and then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I'll tell you what those cards mean as we get to them. So in the month of January, Cancer, you already have a lot of stuff going on. You have a lunar eclipse in your 7th house and Saturn conjunct Pluto in the 7th house, and everyone's been talking about that. So with Saturn, we get these messages of lessons that need to be learned, and also with Pluto, we get to hear about things that need to be things you need to get rid of in your life, rebirths that need to happen, and that's also going to be a lot of messages coming to say that things don't serve you anymore. So let's just see what happens in January for you in your first house. And these changes are going to affect your personality. That's your first house here. So let's see what the message is for that lunar eclipse in Saturn and Pluto. Okay, you got the Perseus card, and it's upright for you. Okay, so basically this is an excellent card for you to get starting out in January. This is the start of a journey. This is Perseus's start, and as we know, he was able to defeat Cetus and also cut the head off of Medusa and use that to win back Andromeda's life. And he was gifted all of these wonderful gifts. He got a shield, and he got this awesome sword. And also here we have this Jupiter energy saying that you have some good luck coming in January. And also we have this Aries energy, meaning that it's a good start. So January is already a good start, and there's this Three of Wands here. And the Three of Wands is going to be basically an opportunity for you to have teamwork, expansion, and travel. So you're just going to be starting a very fresh journey there, Cancer. This is an awesome card. A lot of strength is in that card. So this is the message that Saturn and Pluto and that lunar eclipse are sending you, is that you're going to be strong and you're going to have gifts going through into 2020. And that isn't just, that's a really good card. I told myself though I wouldn't get stuck on the cards and the energy of the cards, because sometimes I just want to keep, having that energy, but I know I have to move along. So then now we're coming to February in your second house. And this card is actually upside down for you, and it's the Four of Swords, and it's the Pisces card. And this is a card that has to do with your second house again, which is earnings, incomes, possessions, and money and resources. Also, your self-esteem and personal values and worth. So what this is telling me with the Four of Swords being upside down is that you're feeling a little burnt out and maybe a little restless. So in February, maybe with that Aries energy, you started off with a bang, but then you needed to just slow down in February. So maybe in January, you could have started a new fitness routine or started with, a diet, but you have to be sure, Cancers, not to go overboard with everything. Be consistent. So this card is telling me that you need to have some forward thinking, because there's this Aquarius energy here. And so plan for the future. Don't plan for just now with these new initiatives that you're taking, okay? And then also with this Uranus energy, that means there's going to be some change. So the change will happen, but just make sure you institute a change that is sustainable, okay? So that is also telling me with the earnings and the money that you want to also sustain from spending a lot of money in February. Maybe you kind of spent a lot over the holidays, so make sure you hang on to your money and get a fresh start with controlling those finances, okay? And also, let's see, March, we have Saturn also re-entering your 8th house. So that's going to be another lesson here to be learned, and it's a lesson about communication. So let's just turn this card over and see what you have. And you have this cardinal fire here, and it's the King of Wands. So this is telling me that with communication, you are going to be very clear, very concise, and you're just going to have a very strong voice. And you also have this Aries energy again, saying that you are going to be direct with people with your communication, and Saturn is teaching you to be more direct. Somehow maybe you aren't using enough of your personal power to convince people to do things for you. So in this month of March, it's time for you to make sure that you tell other people exactly what it is that you need. Okay, that's amazing for communication. And that's your lesson from Saturn right there, is always make sure you express exactly what you need. Don't hold it in, Cancer. Don't hold it in. So now we have April, and this is your 4th house of family and home. And in April, you have Jupiter and Pluto conjunct each other. Okay, so then we have this 8 of Cups here, and this is the Cephas card. And with the 8 of Cups being upright for you, what we think about here is it seems like you want to go on some kind of retreat or something with your family in the month of April. And maybe that's really a good time for you to get out. And also there's this Pisces energy here that's telling me that you just need to get away, you need to recuperate, and you need to reflect. And you could be doing that with your family. So, April is definitely one of those months, especially if you live somewhere in the winter. It's just time to go ahead and get out before the summer rush, and get a good vacation in for yourself. So that was a good message from Jupiter, and also from Pluto, to go ahead and reflect. So now we're moving on to your May card. And in May, we talk about your creativity. So, and you also have Venus in retrograde here. So that could mean, thinking about having a creativity that pleases you, that inwardly it pleases you. So let's find out what's going on there. So we have the Winter and the Princess of Swords right here. And that card was also upright for you. And so the Princess of Swords, again, she has this ability to be very clear in what she wants. And so your creativity in this way, with Venus in retrograde, is going to be, you need to be clear about your inner pleasures, what brings you pleasure. If it's something that you've been putting aside for a while, like say a hobby or something that you enjoy, it's time for you to really get out there and shake off this winter cold feeling and get back into a good spirit, a good pleasurable spirit, and also start some kind of new hobby or some creativity that is going to resonate with you into the summer seasons. And there's also on here some Pisces energy, and then there's some Aquarius energy. So I think this card is also telling you to think about the summer months and to let go of these this winter feeling that you have here, because right now your inner pleasures are kind of cold and you need those warmed up, okay? And that's going to have to do with just being creative with yourself and letting other people know that you're going to take time for yourself, okay? So this next card is going to be your June card in your house of service, and you have another lunar eclipse in there. So you could go back to thinking about some of your projects again, because it seems like you might have taken a break here in May and done some stuff for yourself. So now we're back on to picking up the pace. So let's see what card you get here. So now you have the High Priestess. You have the Moon card. And this is you right here, Cancer. This is your card. And it being the High Priestess, we talk about, trusting yourself, trusting your intuitions. And if that's a message, that means that from, Venus being in retrograde, and also Venus is in your 12th house. So this is telling me that there's these hidden desires that you need to be honest about and that need to come forward, and you need to use your intuition in the month of June, and that is all going to help you circle back to getting your routine right and getting your ritual back in order and finishing up projects that you had or that you needed to have. So you're using your own inner energy here in the month of June to, get back on task, okay? Now, we also have July, and this is your house of partners. And then we also have Saturn returning in your 7th house. So there's a lot going on for you in terms of romance in the month of July. So let's just find out what you have here. Okay, you have the Two of Pentacles, and this has some Venus energy in there, and it also has some Capricorn energy. So I'm not sure if you're going to meet a Capricorn in July, but a lot of stuff is going on for Capricorns with everything, the Saturn and Pluto being conjunct, and also there's this Jupiter and Pluto. There's in the house of Cancer, so a lot of stuff is going on with Cancer. So you may just be feeling a lot of that energy yourself in your 7th house in the month of July. So that means to me that either you're going to have to work hard at a relationship, or it's going to be hard to find a partner at this time because you're working very hard. That could be what's going on. Or it could be that your relationship is kind of hard to work at, because this is telling me that there's going to be some work involved here. And that's okay, because if you're in a relationship and you need to work at it, you're going to be able to have, this special energy in your 7th house with Saturn teaching you sort of a lesson that you need to work better at your relationships. And then also maybe not let all the work get in the way, okay? Now we have August coming up for you, which is intimacy. So let's find out, after Saturn gives you the message about working on your relationship, or either it could be the flip side of that, you're working so hard that you're not paying attention to your relationship. Let's see what happens with the intimacy in August. And we will find out what the results of this card here, this Anquilla card. Okay, so you have the Cardinal Earth, and it's upside down for you, which is the King of Pentacles, which again is telling me that you are still working very hard, and Saturn's lesson for you is not quite over, Cancer. There's also, again, this Capricorn energy in this card. And with the King of Pentacles being in reverse, let's see, I'm looking to see, I'm trying to get the energy, because it's almost telling me that I'm feeling a stubbornness with this card being upside down, because I want it to be upright for you, because even though you're working very hard, there's a stubbornness about it in August. And maybe you're just feeling like, you know, you threw yourself into work for some reason in July and August. That this is the energy that I'm getting, is just sort of a struggle. There's a struggle here. There's this deep inner struggle in your soul. So that can affect your intimacy. And so Saturn is basically telling you here that either with a Capricorn person, or either just the Capricorn energy itself, that you want to sort of make sure that you don't allow this struggle to get in the way of your relationship, because it's going to affect your intimacy. Whew, wow, that energy, sorry, it throws me off when I feel that struggle. So it makes me struggle as well with the reading. So then in September, hopefully this gets a little bit lighter, and Mars does go in retrograde in your 10th house. So that's in the house of career. So maybe that's going to be a breaking point for you. But this September is also your house of travel. So maybe the lesson will be learned now in September, where you stop working so hard, or at least you don't let it get in the way of your relationship. And maybe there's some traveling involved with Mars here too in retrograde. So let's take a look. Yes, finally. Okay, so you got Ursa Major. It is upside down, but that's okay, because that's the reason why we do these spreads right here, is so that you understand and that you can avoid this card being upside down for you, because this is an inability to commit and feeling like overwhelmed. But then if you want this card to be upright for you and have a better intimate relationship and put work aside, be able to balance two things, you really want Ursa Major. This is the mama bear. She's an unconditional love and nurturing, the start of emotions of two people together. And then you have this Pluto energy. So there was the lesson from Pluto. It finally came. And Pluto was saying that you definitely need to stop being afraid and give this unconditional love. And there's also this Cancer energy. That's your energy right there. This is, so see how Saturn and Pluto have brought you full circle to say that you need to make sure that all the hard work that you are doing in the struggle does not get in the way of this, which is, this is the card you should be using when it comes to work. You use your intuition and you get on the right routine and all of that stuff. And then you also use this very good unconditional love energy. And so it seems like you might struggle in July and in August, but you start off good you start off good in June with your energy, but then it becomes a struggle, and then at the end you feel a little bit bad about it with this Two of Cups. You feel some frustration, you feel some distance. But then if you want this card upright for you, all you have to do is use unconditional love, and then use this intuition that you got in June, because that was your gift that you had right there in June. So awesome. So next we have October, and this card right here is about your career. So let's just see how all of this, like if you used this card, this Ursa Major card, I think your work condition is going to get a lot better. At least you'll be happier about it. So let's take a look at what it is. Okay, it is fixed air with the card upside down of the Queen of Swords. Now, again, this is telling me here in your career, you're still having a hard time. But it's because of communication. You really need to be like this Queen of Swords, sitting in your power, being able to discern for yourself what serves you, what doesn't serve you, having clarity, being able to make good decisions, and also some forward thinking, because I have, this Aquarius energy right here. So again, these are the two things that Saturn was going to try to teach you, and these cards were upside down. You need this clarification for yourself, and you need this unconditional love, or you're going to remain struggling in both of your relationships and your career. So please take some time out, meditate, Open your heart chakra, open your crown chakra, get in some good information. If you even have to go to some sort of video and do some sort of meditation, you want to just go ahead and do it now. Go ahead and use this Aries energy and this Jupiter luck that you have starting at the beginning of the year, not to go through this whole struggle. I really want you to stay on pace with these cards being upright. So you need to go back and, like I said, open the heart chakra and the crown chakra. So do that now and keep that energy going throughout the year, because it looks like it's going to get a little bit tough. It's going to get a little bit tough. Okay, so now we have November, and this is your house of friends, and this is a lunar eclipse that's coming also in your 12th house. So let's just see how this works out. Temperance. Got it. Okay. So this is Jupiter giving you another message, and it's also Saturn, and this is the Temperance card. So as long as you can remain balanced, you are definitely going to have, a lot more friends, a lot more romance, a lot better time at work. This is definitely a balance card, and it's just a beautiful card for you to have, but it was also upright. So this tells me that you were able to achieve balance before the end of the year, but I think you can do it sooner, Cancer. I really do. I think it's in the cards for you to do this a lot sooner, because these lessons from Saturn and the lessons from Pluto, you don't have to go through all of that. If you could just start off here with this Temperance card, then you're not going to, go into, your den. When I think of Cancers, I know that you tend to retreat into your home and you don't go out with your friends as much because you're struggling and you're going through these romantic problems. But if you just remember this Temperance card, just remember this as you're going, and remember these two cards being upright for you, this unconditional love and this great decision making, then I think that you can actually skip some of this energy over here, especially in July and August. Okay, so now the end is coming. We're going to see how you close out December. And this is also your 12th house, so your hidden resources. Like, what is it that you have that's in your being that's going to help you out? Your imagination, your dreams, your personal awareness. This is your redemption and your strength and everything. And also you have this solar eclipse coming in December in your 6th house, so the house of service. So let's just see how this works out for you. All right, Cancer. All right, let's see, you got the 8 of Pentacles. And here again, we have Saturn giving you another last, ending message. And then we also have this Virgo. So basically, this card is telling me that Saturn has taught you patience. It's taught you the patience of Virgo. It has taught you how to work at a comfortable, steady pace with no more struggle. And it's also given you this freedom, because with this centaur, it's giving you freedom and healing, because the centaur in Greek mythology is always a healer. So this is a beautiful card for you to get to end off 2020, because it's telling me that you've learned, how to really manage work really well, and Saturn has taught you that, and it taught you this freedom from having everything that's been going on in May, and in June you learn this freedom. And this is just a beautiful card, and I'm kind of sitting in its power because it feels really, really good. And then also the 8 of Pentacles. Let me just think. I want to feel the energy from the 8 of Pentacles to see what it's telling me. And it's telling me that also in 2021, yes, it's telling me in 2021 there's going to be some sort of new arrival and some sort of change that's also happening for you. But if you use this hidden resource, these things that Saturn has taught you, then that change should be very easy for you. And just keep this card in mind in your private thoughts, in your reflections. You have a lot of cards here actually to reflect on. Whew. All right, so we made it. We made it all the way through 2020, Cancer. And back up here. We made it all the way through. And I tried to make this video a little bit shorter so that, you know, I know the attention span in the month of January, especially with after seeing that card that you have in January, and that, you know, I wanted to get through this really quickly for you so that I can, you know, keep your attention. But please do me a favor. If you like this message, give me a like, and also share it with another Cancer that you know, and also maybe leave a comment. Please leave a comment, and go back also and check the November December reading so that you can, if you haven't already done it, clean out that karma so that this spread here was also teaching you some lessons, but you could already be cleaning that karma out before this year starts. So even when that struggle comes in July and August, it's not going to be as hard for you, okay? And please also subscribe so you can get my message from February. And I also want to check in on you to see how you're doing. But if you just leave me a comment below, even if it's to say hello or keep going or something of that nature, it helps me bring these messages to more people. So thank you so much, Cancer. I'm really excited for the year for you, and I think I may have, you know, been able to basically keep you from having some pitfalls. So I hope that works out for you, and I will see you next time in February. Thank you.